Hey, I'm Josh, and I want to talk to you about the 3 questions that we ask our clients when it comes to crafting highly successful local and national campaigns. And these 3 questions are everything that you need when it comes to positioning you successfully. Now, the first question is, what are your competitive advantages? And the competitive advantages that appeal to customers, right? Because you want to be speaking in the language of your customer. Once you have a really good grasp on your differentiators and the things that make you special in the marketplace, that gives you unique space to leverage your services, the products that you offer, etc., at a higher price point, healthier margins, a healthy business. The second question we ask you is, who exactly are your customers and how do they make their decisions? Are these men or women of a certain age? Do they relate to different people in their department? Do they end up talking about this decision with their families? Regardless of your industry, your customer has a certain methodology that they employ when it comes to making decisions. And you want to have a very strong grasp on how your customer makes decisions, who they are, their likes, dislikes, all that kind of information. And then that feeds into the third question, which is, based on the information that you have about the customer decision journey in your market, where can you fit yourself in order to acquire the best market space, right? So what can you change about the decision right prior to purchase in your marketing strategy that can have the biggest effect from a profitability standpoint, from a growth standpoint, whatever your chosen metrics are? And so these 3 questions are very, very different from the way that most marketing agencies actually approach marketing campaigns, and I'll tell you why. The first is that most marketing agencies make the mistake of having a tactics-driven approach as opposed to a holistic campaign approach. And here's what that means. Most agencies build themselves on the backs of a certain type of tactic they've become proficient at, whether it's search engine optimization or social media or website design or pay-per-click or what have you. The problem is that a tactics-driven campaign is not going to drive the greatest results for you as a business. It's not going to lead to the highest profits. It's not going to lead to the best margins. A tactics-driven approach could very easily just be sort of throwing marketing down your customers' throats, right? Your prospects' throats, because they're just on Facebook and they're seeing all these ads that they really don't want to see because it's the wrong channel for your industry. It makes your brand look worse. You're marketing yourself improperly. That's damaging. Instead, you want to take the overarching approach, the campaign, and fit the tactics in based on where you can strategically position yourself for success. I hope that makes sense. And now the second reason why the process that we use is so different than most agencies is because it leads to higher profits and higher margins. Here's what I mean by that. When your marketing is inappropriate for your actual industry and your brand, what happens is people perceive you as a little bit worse off in your industry and in your market. That means they're a little more sensitive to your prices. That means you're going to convert at a lower percentage compared to your competitors. It means you're going to sell fewer things overall. It means people are going to be more price sensitive. You'll experience lower effectiveness in terms of your overall sales process and the actual value perceived by the market of your products and services. All of that happens when your marketing doesn't properly represent the brand and where you're actually trying to go. And that's fixed when you take the holistic process that I described earlier using those 3 questions. And now the last point that I want to make is that the process I've detailed is actually industry specific, and that makes a huge difference. One of the things that we found is that you can grow by 30 to 40% slower simply by not speaking the language of your industry. It's extremely common that we find a client of ours, before they came to us, was executing a campaign that is actually not correct for their industry. It's emphasizing the wrong factors. The color psychology is all wrong. The brandings are all wrong. The channels are all wrong. The way that they're evaluating the cost of a customer is all wrong. The marketing collateral is all wrong for their industry. You want to speak in the voice of your customer in a way they can actually relate to and understand, because that's going to lower price sensitivity, increase interest in your product and service. You become more relatable. You become more of a premier provider. All of those things protect the margins of your business, and that's by being industry specific. And again, you don't want to be tactics first. You want to be holistic campaign first. Make everything you do make sense for both your business and your target customer. That 3-part process we use based on those 3 simple questions, right? What are your competitive advantages? 2, who exactly is your customer and how do they make decisions? 3, where can you position yourself along the customer decision journey to get the best outcome for your business? If that's how you craft your campaign, starting with those 3 questions, you're gonna get a much greater success. Now, if you want to talk more about this, go ahead and contact me. Fill out a form, I will talk to you. Now, I will say we're a little bit different than most agencies in that if you're not very good at what you do, we won't work with you. And I'm not trying to be cheeky, I'm being 100% honest here. Businesses that are not very good at what they do simply create worse marketing campaigns, or the marketing campaign is forced to cover up the fact that the business is frankly not that competent in itself. And I'm sure you've seen that before, right? You have competitors who you think they don't really belong in the marketplace. They put out an inferior product. and we don't want to work with those folks either. So if you are really good at what you do, if you have performance to kind of back that up, if you have expertise and you're just stepping into a business maybe for the first time, you just need help to just get that business to work, even though the expertise, the product, the service quality is there. If you're a brand or a national chain, you're looking to become more proficient with your marketing by making sure that you're always in tune with your customers and the way they actually talk, the way they think, well then we are going to be a great fit. And if that's the case, I look forward to hearing from you soon.